Thank you. Thank you very much, Sandy, for the warm introduction. I'm sorry there's such a small crowd here today, this morning. We just never turn out people, you know. This is incredible, really. I want to thank my colleagues on the City Council, because I recognize in this new role, I do nothing alone. I want to thank the Downtown Partnership, the board, and Michael. You guys are what we call in politics and community the long-termers. I mean, you're in it through the thick and the thin, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be working with you. And you probably expected me here this morning to use my first State of the Downtown speech to talk about this issue of homelessness. It's probably what a lot of you expect. And I certainly want to congratulate the Sacramento Police Department, the city manager, the police chief, and the impact team for receiving this prestigious award. And though I'm not going to speak about homelessness today, I want to assure you that working in partnership with our County Board of Supervisors, many of them are here today, we begin next Tuesday in joint session with the County Board. We are going to make a dramatic and demonstrable difference on this issue because it's a must for downtown and it's a must for Sacramento. But I want to spend my few moments this morning to talk about economic development and Destination Sacramento. And you've heard it already from Michael and some of the other speakers. What an incredible time it is to be a Sacramentan. And those of us in public or in community life know that it's important to strike the balance between always striving for more, but always stopping to smell the roses. For the city's partnership with the Downtown Partnership has, as you've heard, created a long list of achievements and successes. The Golden One Center, of course, the Kimpton Hotel and the Downtown Commons, the 700 block, the Ice Blocks, the May Building, the opening of the rail yards, the rebirth of our depot, our train station, the characters on the K Art Project, the Art Street on Broadway, regional bike sharing, the renewed push for light rail, all linked together by this very important streetcar project, and so much more. And so it's good we gather at least once a year to celebrate, to acknowledge, and to take stock of what we have done. And as your new mayor, I get the wonderful opportunity of helping to lead our community's discussion of what is next. And so I reflect a little bit on the Golden One Center. For sometimes an external threat and the urgency of time dictates our decisions. Sometimes, like with the arena, you grab a moment in time, the opportunity presented, and you devise an all-hands-on-deck financing strategy to make it happen. You say yes, period, and figure out how to make it happen rather than saying yes, but thus allowing a risk-averse mindset to set in and squander time, resources, and the actual ability to grab that moment. The arena is a true public-private partnership. Imagine if we had not said, we are doing this. We are going to find a way to finance the public share. The loss would have been much greater than the price. We would not have seen Paul McCartney open, Kanye West melt down, Cirque du Soleil perform downtown, or a monster truck rally 4 blocks from the state capitol. And oh yes, with visionary business and community partners, together we saved the Kings. We perfected Think Big, and we got it right. We picked the right location. We worked with the Kings to design a beautiful building and have begun capturing what we all knew would happen: a jumpstart to creating a new and a vibrant economic and cultural transformation of our downtown. So that was the arena. And then sometimes a situation demands that we both demonstrate a sense of urgency, but also take the necessary time to make sure that we get the big decisions right. Last fall, the City Council approved a remake of the Community Center Theater. And last November, the City Council decided to hold off on committing $170 million of transit occupancy tax, our hotel tax, to expand the convention center. In my view, both were wise decisions. Let me assure no misunderstanding. I favor expanding the convention center in Sacramento. We need significantly more meeting space to attract large conventions and to hold on to some of our more successful conventions that are outgrowing our capacity. Our space limitations prevent us, in most instances, from having two big conventions at one time. Big conventions lead to more hotel rooms and more hotels. We are short thousands of hotel rooms. The TOT, as we call it, is a hotel tax. I get it, and I support an expansion. But let's step back for a minute. Downtown will only be the premier destination we all want it to be if we remember that our task is not just to attract people to Sacramento for a single purpose. Our opportunity is to make our city and our region an essential experience for tourists and people who live in our city and in our region. Our vision and our economic plan must include more amenities. We should aspire to locate a Monterey Bay-like aquarium, a public market, a grand urban park, an observation tower, and the kind of street art that lights up our downtown nightlife. If we can't do it all in one fell swoop over 4 years, what do we want to start with? Let us be honest. Let us acknowledge that even with our momentum, we do not yet have enough iconic attractions in our downtown, our city, or our region. And for me, and Michael, I appreciate you referencing it, it begins with unlocking the conundrum of our riverfront. We have talked about this for a long time, but our progress is frankly tepid. There is great excitement, for example, about the Powerhouse Science Center. The board and its benefactors are doing a great job, but they are still short of funding for merely the first phase. And because of the financial limitations, they have been forced to hold off on the bold idea of a riverfront planetarium. I say we must make the full build-out of the planetarium part of our riverfront plan and part of Destination Sacramento. Imagine, thank you. That's what they call an applause line, by the way. Thank you. Imagine a nationally recognized educational science center, a family-friendly Matsui Park, and developing the Jaboom Street jumble of gas stations and motels with condos or a major hotel. The riverfront is full of targets of opportunity. Old Sacramento, The docks, Miller Park, the I Street pedestrian bridge with West Sacramento, modeled after the iconic pedestrian bridge in New York City. All of these targets, including ensuring a destination amenity for our literal connection to downtown, the rail yards, would have a direct and substantial relationship to increasing the number of people who visit our city and our downtown. And so the question should not just be, how much money will it take to maximize the utility of a single important asset, our convention center? The more important questions, in my view, are these. How do we invest $170 million in a way that maximizes our potential to be a complete destination city? What projects will actually generate the most hotel tax revenue and lead to more hotels? Wouldn't it be better off, and wouldn't we be better off, investing a substantial portion of that public money in expanding the convention center while still leaving a substantial amount to invest in one or two other catalytic destination opportunities? What do we actually need to maximize the effectiveness of an expanded convention center? The kind of project matters. I would love to see a project that has symmetry with the Performing Arts Center, a great public plaza between the convention center and theater, a place for concerts and farmers markets and even outdoor exhibit space. Imagine an outdoor screen on the wall of the theater so Sacramentans could actually watch the concerts, eating a picnic dinner while they enjoy the cool Delta breeze. Can our convention center be both affordable and unique? I think so. I also believe that it is vital, before making a financial decision that will bind us for decades, that we actively explore both public and private sector partners who can match or add to our investment for any of our destination priorities. We have a lot of assets, a lot of resources on the public and private side in our city and in our region, and we must explore every opportunity to leverage this money with both private and public sources to stretch that finite number as far as we can so that we can do even more. I share with all of you in the downtown a sense of urgency to make the convention center decision as soon as possible and to jumpstart at least several of these other opportunities as soon as possible. So tomorrow, we're going to start with the first in a series of intensive public fact-finding hearings to assess what it will take to both responsibly increase our convention center opportunities, how best to market and operate an expanded center, how to do it all with a sharp pencil, and how best to compare the value of an incremental dollar invested in that important project with some of the other visions I have briefly discussed today. I'm going to chair this effort. Councilmember Hansen is going to join me as the vice chair. It's going to be open and public. No more private ad hoc committees at the city. We're doing it all out in public. I invite you to join. I'm not prejudging the conclusion or its answers. I just want to make sure the City Council, the decision-making body here, has clear facts and a full view of their choices. We have some really difficult problems, like this homeless problem. And I seem to be spending more of my time on that than about any other thing, and that's probably right. And again, I will save our plan for permanent housing, for triage, for intensive outreach, for another day. But when we talk about the convention center, when we talk about Destination Sacramento, this discussion is not a problem. It's not a problem. It's all upside. It's all great stuff. The choices we have to make are positive, and they are exciting. So I have now held this enviable public trust as your mayor for just over a month. And I know now, after just a short time, what I have known all along about our economic future. Our future lies in expanding our view of our city and our region. Yes, about seeing ourselves as more than just a government town, but it's also about understanding the essential consistency between the tried and true ways of increasing tourism and economic growth and those intangible qualities and amenities that can generate an aura that our city is a city that people must visit, and many people choose to make their home. I am willing to be bold with you, to take some smart risks, and to push opportunities that we together could never imagine. Not going back. Just getting started. Let 2017 be the year we made wise and visionary decisions. And let this be the year where we recognize together that if we're smart, we can in fact have it all. We can have a cosmopolitan city with all the destination amenities that we can imagine. At the same time, we can link that economic growth to our neighborhoods, and especially the kids in our neighborhoods, and that we can solve this homeless problem in a way that will make all of us feel that much better about all the great things we're creating. Thank you very much. I look forward to working with you.